The story of a Nigerian American woman navigating through this thing called life. Hey y'all. Welcome to the 11th episode of the Unmet Expectation podcast. Wow. I know it's been 5 weeks, 5 entire weeks since I've last done this. To this date, it's been 5 weeks. Yeah, a bit of a short hiatus, but we'll get into that. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for coming back. We are on the 11th episode of the Unmet Expectation podcast, and I am delighted to be here on this beautiful, hot Friday afternoon. I was really giddy. I wanted to record yesterday, but I wasn't sure, so today's the day. Let me take it to my mood, because my mood will explain a little bit of the hiatus. I'm going to be 100% transparent with you all. For the past couple weeks, the momentum hasn't been momentuming. Like, the momentum to record just wasn't there. And I think what it is, and I know what it is because I know myself, is doubt was starting to kick in. And I think a lot of that doubt comes from the expectation. And that's the thing. That's the problem when you have expectations that I was putting on myself as far as like having guests every week. I think that isn't feasible. And I kind of want to change the layout and the format of the pod. I love coming on here and talking about just my experiences, my journeys, and then we'll get into that a little bit more in another segment. But I think I kind of want to change the format of the pod. Interviews are awesome. Interviews are great, but that's not feasible. Like, I can't promise an interview every week. First of all, my circle's super small and I don't know a lot of people, but by God's grace, it will expand and I'll have an array of people on. But for now, I don't think I have the capacity, or it's just not feasible for me to interview every week. I don't have the people to do that. I'm being 100% honest. But I think I want to pivot a little bit from that. We'll still have interviews and stuff like that, because that's great. And I love having people come on and share their stories and their journeys. But I think some weeks is just going to be me, myself, and I, and y'all obviously listening and tuning in and watching. But I think the layout is going to change a bit. I know the layout has to change a bit because it's just not feasible for guests to come on every single week. I can't do that right now. So yeah, the momentum wasn't momentuming, but I'm back and I'm better, and just I'm feeling hopeful. I updated my profile on Instagram to Luke 137. I saw it yesterday or the day before yesterday. I was reading the Bible, and it was just like, with God, all things are possible. So I was just like, that just gave me another push to keep going at it. Like, I'm gonna keep recording, and I know it's really important to be consistent. So I'm just trying to be as consistent as I can. But the momentum had not been momentuming, but we're back and we move. So we're going to switch it up. I think when I'm by myself, I want to do segments called 2 cents. Like, I want to give you my 2 cents. I want to give you my opinion. I want to give you my perspective on an array of topics about navigating life. That could be like relationships. That could be like education. That can be religion. That can be anything relating to life, really, because that's the premise of the pod, is like everything's relatable. A lot of the things that you've been through, I don't know if I personally been through them, but I'm pretty sure I have an opinion about it. So don't take my opinion as Bible, because I'm not God, but I would like to think I'm a pretty wise person. So I think I give decent advice. So I would really, really love for people to send in any questions, dilemmas, or anything they would like me to cover. Like today, I got quite a few responses. I posted on Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, it's called The Unmet Expectation. That's the name of the IG page. If you go on there, I try to post at least once a week. I'm not the best at this social media thing, y'all. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I haven't really been feeling it at all, like the whole social media aspect, but I don't have a choice. And that's me being 100% honest. But I posted something, was it last week or the week before last? And it was basically saying, if you have any questions or dilemmas, send them into, you can DM me on Instagram, or you can send them into theunmetexpectation@gmail.com. And we're just going to get on here and converse. I'm going to talk to y'all, and we just going to see what we're going to do and see how the conversation flows and see how this segment works. It's going to be called My Two Cents. And it's just my opinion, my perspective on whatever we decide that topic will be for that week. And I think that these episodes aren't going to be as long, because I think it's pretty mundane for me to get on here and talk for like 45 minutes. That's a long time. One person to sit and talk to the camera. If I'm being 100% honest, one person by herself. It's easier when you have someone to feed off of. So if I'm doing like interview style, that's way easier. But if it's just me, if I'm solo, I don't think a 45-minute pod will be entertaining. But y'all let me know. You all let me know. Leave me questions, comments. Give me your perspective. Give me your opinions on if you like this layout or not. And then we'll tweak and adjust accordingly. Because I can't do this without y'all. So I really need everyone to chip in, tune in, tell a friend to tell a friend, tell everyone about the Unmet Expectation podcast, because that's the only way, we're going to get this thing going. But I really appreciate those who did DM me last week. I believe it was last week. I got a really, really good topic that I want to touch on. And it's from Razak. Razak sent me in something, and it was along the lines of provider versus protector. But we're going to switch it up a bit, because I feel like provider and protector, there's so much similarities and synergy between the words. It could be a bit confusing. So I found this really, really cool article, and I want to read little snippets from that, and then I'll give my 2 cents. So I have it pulled up here. It's called, If You Had to Choose One, would it be a man who is a great provider or a great friend? This is good. And it's by Jackie Bledsoe. Oh, and it's old too. Oh. Blackandmarriedwithkids.com. It was a random, I was just researching on the internet. Okay, so let me read it. An interesting question posed to my wife that she and I discussed in depth. I listened mostly. This question goes deep into what a wife desires most in her husband. The question, if you had to choose one of the following 2 qualities in your husband, which would it be? Would you want him to be a good friend or a good provider? And it said, let's take a look at the difference before you state your choice. And it, again, goes along the same lines of protector versus provider. Why do I have to choose? From a husband's perspective, it can be very challenging to balance or be both, making it more difficult in today's economy and its financial impact on marriages and families. Okay, anyways, the good friend husband. This is the husband that is there. He is present in all areas. He is there to spend time with you and the kids. He contributes around the house. Or is that domesticated sexy, as the wife says. You have a relationship built on communication. When the work that he does, whatever that might be, is done for the day, he's hanging out with you. You truly feel like you know him intimately because of the quality time you guys spend together. When you have a question, a thought, or something to say, your first choice is to speak to him. However, when it comes to providing, he has fallen a little short. You may not be sure if you will have money to pay the bills. I don't like that part. Love isn't enough. Okay. Anywho, if he still has a job, this job may not be paying what is needed to fully support your family's lifestyle. Your date nights primarily consist of putting the kids to bed and watching a movie at home because there's no money available to go out. Your friends are talking about their regular vacations, but yet to go on due to a lack of finances, you can't go on these vacations. Your financial future, your family lifestyle is filled with a lot of uncertainty. All right. So then now we move on to the good provider, husband. This guy has it going on in his career, and his lifestyle shows it. There's never any doubt that all of your needs, the kids' needs, and the needs of the households are met. Not only that, but your wants are met as well. You shop at Whole Foods instead of Walmart. Your clothes and your kids' clothes are all designer brands. Weekend shopping trips with your girlfriends and or your kids are funded regularly. You take trips practically when you want. You have the option to grow a career for yourself or stay at home. Any income you earn is not needed for the household. It is just extra, so you can walk away from the career at any time. Although he is that guy in the career front and providing a great lifestyle for your family, he is rarely present physically, emotionally, or mentally. Eeks. Yeah. The career that provides so much for you and your family keeps him gone on a regular basis. When he is not working, he is unwinding, talking about work, or hanging with the fellas. The time spent away makes it sometimes awkward when you talk. Your girlfriend know more about what goes on in your house with your children than he does. It has been months since you've shared an intimate experience that is desirable to you. Ooh, you can only choose one. Ooh, that's tough, right? So we have a good friend or a provider. Ooh, this is techie. This is really techie. And I think this is a really, really common issue I feel like a lot of relationships face, because the reality of it is if you have a really, really busy husband and he's bringing in that guap, he's bringing in that money, he's a provider, you're living, he's going to be most likely a very busy man. He's not going to be able to attend to you in the ways that you desire, for sure. But then on the other hand, a good friend, no. God did not bring me in this world to be broke. Like, we can't be broke together, but you can only choose one. Lord, really tough. And he provides for you emotionally. Like he's a protector, because he protects you emotionally. He protects you physically. Yeah, this is tough. And if I had to choose one, nah, this is techie. Okay, see, the thing with a good friend though is, birds of a feather flock together. So if that's your man and you're ambitious and you have all of these qualities in you as the wife, I feel like that should rub off on your husband. And innately, I feel like a man wants to provide. I feel like a man wants to protect. I feel like a man wants to make sure that he holds you down. So I think that, because let me speak from experience. Okay, so there was a time where I was dating this doctor, really great guy, amazing guy. He was a hospitalist, so he was always like at the hospital. He never, like, I saw him in a month, maybe 2 or 3 times, and that wasn't going to work for me. Great guy, but just it wasn't, because my love language is quality time. I love being with my person. Like, that is my thing. So that relationship was doomed to fail. Like, that wasn't going to work. Like, that relationship with him wasn't going to work. And I knew it wasn't going to work. See, women, that intuition thing, it always comes back to that. You know it wasn't going to work, but you entertained it because he looked good on paper. He was a doctor. He had a lot of money. Oh, he was loaded. He had a lot of money. And he wasn't stingy either. But anywho, that wasn't going to work for me because I didn't feel protected as like emotionally. I didn't feel like I was going to be able to spend time with him. That wasn't going to work for me. I saw this quote, I think yesterday, And it said, making someone feel seen, heard, and understood is the loudest way to love them. And I thought that was like spot on. I need you to hear me. I need you to spend some time with me. And if you're that busy, I don't think that's not going to work for me. So my prayer would be that I think to round this up, I would say a good friend. In this situation, ladies, love isn't enough. It really isn't enough. Love is never enough, because you know what? What ends up happening, and I've seen this time and time again, I've seen this in my life, I've seen this in other people's life. When you go, and even though I'm leaning towards a good friend as my choice, I want both. But if I had to choose, it would be a good friend. But let me tell you something about the good friend choice. Yeah, he's a good friend, but when those bills start rolling in, rent's due, mortgages due, car notes are due, student loans are due, babies need to eat, you all need to eat. Love is not enough. Love is not going to be enough. And what happens is, if the money is, there's uncertainty with the money, what happens, especially if you're making more, if you're making more than your man, it's going to bring in ego, because men still have that ego. They have that pride. Yo, this conversation can go in so many different directions. I think there could be a part 1 through 10 on this. Because with men, they have the ego, they have that pride, and innately they want to provide for us and all that good stuff. But if they're unable to do that, the pride will be hurt. It will be bruised. That ego will be bruised. And what will happen too is, as the woman, if you're constantly providing and your partner is not able to pull his weight, slowly but surely, you are going to start to resent him. What was I saying? I was saying, slowly but surely, you're going to start to resent him. It's going to happen, because you're going to want to be provided for. Like, you're going to get tired unless you're like a multimillionaire and just money is nothing to you. But if you're a working class woman and you're constantly providing and your husband's not pulling his weight, that's going to turn into resentment, and that will cause a blow up eventually. So love is not enough. But if I had to choose one, I would say a good friend. However, my prayer would be that whatever ambition, whatever I have in me to hustle and bustle, that rubs off on my partner. And to be honest with you, we shouldn't even... Should I talk? I don't even want to talk it. Like, I just think that we save ourselves so much heartache and so much confusion and so many issues down the road if you're with someone who's equally yoked. Whatever that means for you. I'm not 100% sure about that means 100%, but I do know equally yoked means you need a balance. It's great that he's your friend, but where's the money? It's great that you can hee, cuckoo, ha, ha. But where's the money? Because the babies have to eat. The mortgage has to be paid. Nah. But then also, if we're looking at the other side of it, like just a provider, no. I need you to spend some time with me too. Balance. Yin and yang. Equally. But anyways, yeah. I guess if I had to choose one, it would be a good friend. But I really want someone, obviously, balanced. But that's what would work for me. And as a woman, I think it's really important to know yourself and ultimately choose what works best for you and whatever your heart desires. But my preference would be a balance of the two. For sure. A balance of the two. Because when there's no money, there'll be less hee hee ha 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 hoo hoo hoo. There won't be any of that anymore. Because you'll be trying to get 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs to provide. So I don't know. Just my 2 cents. And I've seen it. Like I said, I've seen this situation happen before. When the man is not pulling his weight, you know, love isn't enough. Love is not enough. There's so many other factors that are important, just as important as love, like finances, like finding someone who's equally yoked. The balance. Need the balance. One can't outweigh the other one. I mean, hey, like I said, do what works best for you. Some women, show me the money. I don't need to see you. I don't want to see you. Just send the money to my bank account. You can be gone for 5 months and just have the money rolling in. Some women, that's all they require. It's a personal thing. So, to each their own. But if I had to choose between a good friend or a provider, I'm leaning towards a good friend. And I'm praying, and my prayer would be that whatever ambition and hustle I have in me, that comes off on him as well. So, yeah, that's just my 2 cents. That kind of wraps up this segment. Let me know what y'all think. I don't even know if I'm going to post this. I'm on the fence. I don't know. And like I said, like this conversation can go in so many different directions. But with the whole male pride ego thing. But yeah, I think that's how I kind of want these segments to go. My 2 cents. Just me. Come on here, talk my talk. Guys, let me know. Comment. Spam it. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Get these dilemmas coming in. These questions coming in about navigating through life. Thanks for everyone who DM'd me. I do have a couple more topics we could discuss. But yeah, that wraps it up for this. But in unmet expectation fashion, we gotta talk about what's on repeat this week. So let's go into the music segment. What's on repeat for me this week is Backyard Band, Rock Creek Park. Doing it in the Rock Creek Park. And I'm excited tonight because I'm going to a go-go. It's just me and my best friend are going to see Backyard Band. Like the good old days, reliving our high school days. It should be a good time. Looking forward to it. So yeah, that's what's on repeat. That's what's been heavy on repeat this week is Backyard Band. Yeah. And that pretty much wraps up today's episode. Let me know what y'all think. Yeah. So like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. You can find me at theunmetexpectation. That's on Instagram. And you can email me at theunmetexpectation@gmail.com. And that's it. I'm out. Happy Friday, everyone. Bye.